The resilience of the human spirit shines brightest in the face of unrelenting adversity, and few embody this truth more poignantly than Dave Coulier, the beloved comedian whose infectious laughter once lit up living rooms as Uncle Joey on the iconic sitcom Full House. Just 9 months after celebrating a hard-won victory over non-Hodgkin lymphoma, a diagnosis that tested the limits of his optimism and fortitude, Coulier has been thrust back into the fray with a new, sobering revelation: an HPV-related oropharyngeal tongue cancer. This unexpected twist in his health saga has not dimmed his trademark humor but rather amplified his commitment to vulnerability, turning personal trials into a beacon for others navigating similar storms. Coulier's first brush with cancer came like a thunderclap in early 2025, shattering the post-Full House idol he'd cultivated with stand-up tours, podcasting, and quality time with his family. Non-Hodgkin lymphoma, a blood cancer that affects the lymphatic system, presented with insidious symptoms: unexplained fatigue, persistent night sweats, and a nagging cough that no amount of rest could quell. At 66, Coulier was in the prime of a career resurgence, delighting audiences with nostalgic one-man shows recounting behind-the-scenes antics from the Tanner family household. The diagnosis forced an abrupt pivot, plunging him into a whirlwind of chemotherapy sessions, radiation treatments, and the emotional roller coaster of uncertainty. What followed was a grueling odyssey marked by moments of profound doubt and unexpected grace. Hospital stays blurred into a haze of sterile white walls and beeping monitors, where Coulier found solace in the voices of his Full House co-stars, John Stamos, Candace Cameron Bure, and Jodie Sweetin, who rallied around him with visits, care packages, and virtual pep talks laced with inside jokes. "We were family on screen, and that bond doesn't fade when the cameras stop rolling," Coulier later reflected, crediting their support for pulling him through the darkest nights. His wife, Melissa, became his anchor, juggling her own career as a producer while advocating fiercely in doctors' offices, demanding second opinions and exploring integrative therapies like acupuncture to ease the chemo's toll. By spring 2025, scans showed remission, a word that tasted sweeter than any punchline. Coulier marked the milestone with a tearful video update, vowing to channel his experience into advocacy. He launched Laugh Through the Fear, a non-profit blending comedy workshops with cancer support groups, where patients could find catharsis in shared stories and silly impressions. Appearances on talk shows followed, where he'd recount how lymphoma had reshaped his worldview. Cancer doesn't just attack your body, it strips away the superficial and forces you to confront what matters: love, laughter, legacy. Fans, moved by his candor, flooded his inbox with messages, turning his recovery into a communal celebration of survival. Yet joy's shadow loomed large. Routine follow-up in late 2025 uncovered the new diagnosis: oropharyngeal tongue cancer linked to human papillomavirus, HPV, a common virus that can lead to cellular changes over time. This form targets the throat and tongue, often presenting with a sore that refuses to heal, difficulty swallowing, or a subtle lump that belies its gravity. For Coulier, the symptoms had masqueraded as lingering effects from his prior treatments. Hoarseness he attributed to overzealous voice impressions, fatigue dismissed as the demands of a busy schedule. "It's like the universe said, 'Round 2, gloves off,'" he quipped in his announcement, his wit a shield against the fear. Medical experts note that HPV-related cancers, while serious, often respond well to early intervention, thanks to advances in immunotherapy and targeted radiation. Coulier's team has outlined a plan blending surgery to remove affected tissue, followed by precision radiation to zap any microscopic threats. Unlike his lymphoma battle, which relied heavily on systemic chemo, this approach promises fewer widespread side effects, allowing him to maintain some normalcy: family dinners, golf outings, even taping episodes of his podcast Full House Rewind, where he dissects episodes with guests like Lori Loughlin. "Humor's my superpower," he insists. "If I can make Melissa laugh during a pre-op consult, we're winning." This dual diagnosis has deepened Coulier's reflections on mortality and meaning. In extended conversations with close confidants, he's pondered the irony: a man whose career was built on voicing cartoon characters and perfecting the cut-it-out falsetto now facing a threat to his very voice. Yet, rather than retreat, he's leaned in, partnering with the HPV Awareness Coalition to promote vaccination, crucial for preventing such cancers in younger generations. "I got the virus decades ago before we knew better," he explains, urging parents to vaccinate teens. "Don't let my story be yours." His advocacy extends to destigmatizing head and neck cancers, often overlooked amid breast or lung awareness campaigns, by sharing raw details: the metallic taste post-radiation, the phantom pains that mimic heartaches from old scripts. Family remains Coulier's North Star. His blended brood, stepchildren from Melissa, plus his son from a previous marriage, has stepped up with a fierce protectiveness, organizing Joey Gladstone game nights, filled with board games and bad puns to keep spirits high. Melissa, whom he married in 2014 after a serendipitous meeting at a charity event, has become his co-pilot once more, chronicling their journey on a private blog for supporters. Dave's not just fighting for himself, he's modeling bravery for us all, she writes, her words a testament to a partnership forged in fire.